People have often told you that once you grow older, you must slow down, that tiredness is normal, energy will fade, and eventually intimacy becomes a thing of the past. But let me tell you something, my dear elder, they were wrong. Entirely wrong. I am Dr. Rakesh Mehta, a men's health specialist based in Mumbai, and for over 30 years I have worked with uncles, fathers and respected elders across India from Punjab to Kerala, helping them reignite their vitality, improve blood circulation and reconnect deeply with their partners even after turning 60. And what I have discovered along the way may truly surprise you. Because most people believe that the only way to regain health in later years is through Western medicine or hormone therapy. But the real answer is much simpler, much closer to home. In fact, it comes from 4 very familiar fruits. Not expensive medicines, not complicated treatments, just fruits. And they might just be the key to restoring your energy, your confidence, and yes, your sense of closeness in a completely natural way. These are not exotic ingredients. You can find them easily at your local vegetable market in the morning, at the fruit stalls near your temple, or with the friendly vendor who rides his cycle cart through your neighborhood. And these fruits, they don't just taste nice. They help improve blood flow, uplift your emotional well-being, and bring back a sense of intimacy that many had quietly said goodbye to. What's even more beautiful is this: they work even if you are 70, 75 or beyond. Age is not the end, not when your body is still quietly listening. In just a few moments, I will share exactly which 4 fruits they are and how you can start including them in your daily routine without needing any drastic lifestyle changes or effort. Just simple, gentle steps so that you can feel stronger, more connected, and more confident in your own body again. So stay with me, dear elder, as if we're sitting together sipping hot masala chai in the quiet of the morning, because what I am about to share just might change the way you look at growing older. And before we explore these 4 small but mighty fruits, if you feel that this conversation is worth listening to, worth passing on, then I warmly invite you, please subscribe to this channel so you don't miss the weekly videos we create specially for senior wellness. Click the notification bell so YouTube can remind you every time a new health tip is shared. If you find this video helpful, simply type 1 in the comments so I know you're with me. If not, just type zeros. I read every response and will keep improving for you. And yes, do share this video with your family and friends so your wife, your siblings, or your old classmates from the village can also discover simple ways to live healthier after 60. Now, let's begin with the first fruit, one that looks simple but has helped thousands of older Indians restore their strength and rebuild their closeness in everyday life. Red grapes, restoring the natural flow within. There was a time in my medical career when I, Dr. Arun Prakash, firmly believed that only Western medicine's vascular interventions or expensive treatments could improve blood circulation in elderly patients. But the more I listened to elders from places like Delhi, Pune or Coimbatore, and the more I read about senior citizens who were still full of life, still mentally sharp, and still walking hand in hand with their spouse during morning rounds at the local park, the more I realized something simple yet powerful. Sometimes the most effective solutions come not from a pharmacy, but from your own Indian kitchen. And one of those age-old companions is none other than red grapes, not imported supplements from overseas, Not fancy pills with difficult names, just plump, juicy red grapes, the kind you can find with the fruit vendor at the corner of your local mandi or order from the small kirana shop near your home. And yet these grapes contain a natural compound with a powerful impact, resveratrol. Resveratrol is a strong antioxidant that goes deep into the blood vessels, making them more flexible and elastic. This helps oxygen-rich blood flow smoothly to the most important parts of the body, the heart, the brain, the muscles, and yes, even the intimate areas. What's most fascinating is that red grapes help wake up the flow exactly where aging often slows it down, first the lower body. Have you ever felt your feet cold in the morning even when it's not winter? Or experienced a slight numbness, slower response, or general tiredness? And noticed that moments of closeness with your spouse now feel distant or difficult? Dear elder, this is not your fault. These are signs of poor circulation, and red grapes can gently open that doorway again. For elderly men, eating red grapes daily, even just a handful in the afternoon or with your evening chai, has shown clear improvements in vitality. This is because resveratrol boosts nitric oxide, a compound that is essential for starting and maintaining a healthy physiological response. But unlike synthetic medicines, grapes do this gently, without dizziness, without side effects. For elderly women, red grapes increase blood sensitivity around the pelvic area, bringing back warmth, comfort, and making closeness feel whole again, physically and emotionally. Because after all, intimacy at our age is not just about function, it's about rekindling a feeling that may have quietly faded. I remember an elderly couple, both in their 70s, who came to see me from Lucknow. Their eyes were bright, their hands still clasped together as they smiled and told me, "We never imagined that just a few grapes every day could bring us closer, just like when we were newly married." And I smiled in return because this wasn't magic. It was a wise and beautiful choice. And you know what? This is only the beginning. Because the next fruit, just as familiar as a plate of curry and rice at home, not only helps blood circulate better, it is also a quiet guardian of your kidneys, a place that plays a crucial role in how confident, comfortable, and connected you feel during intimacy in your golden years. Would you like to know what that fruit is? Let's discover it together. Cranberry, the quiet guardian of your kidneys. For many years, I never gave much thought to a certain fruit simply because it wasn't part of our traditional Indian meals. That fruit is cranberry, or as some call it, Nam Viet Quat. Dr. Vijay Malhotra used to think of cranberries as a tangy red side dish the Westerners serve during their Thanksgiving festivals, just like we have Holi Pongal or Raksha Bandhan. I never imagined that such a fruit could have anything meaningful to do with health, especially senior health in India. But then, something unexpected happened. I began listening more closely to uncles and aunties over 60 who were still healthy, still taking morning walks around Lodi Garden, still laughing with their spouses like newlyweds. And curiously, cranberries kept showing up in their stories. Some had it as unsweetened juice in the morning. Others mixed dried cranberries into their cucumber onion salad with a touch of coriander seeds. So I began studying this humble fruit more deeply. And what I discovered completely changed the way I looked at it. It turns out that cranberry is one of the most powerful silent protectors of our kidneys and urinary system. two areas that quietly play a central role in our sexual health, energy levels, and intimacy in our senior years. You see, when our kidneys weaken, toxins start to build up, blood flow slows down, and inflammation begins creeping into the most delicate parts of our body, the parts we don't usually speak about. As a result, desire goes down, responses become slower, and for many older men, even erections become weaker and less reliable. That's when cranberry steps in like a loyal gatekeeper for your intimate health. This small fruit is rich in compounds that reduce inflammation, clean the urinary tract, and keep the blood vessels around the pelvic area clear and healthy. This not only prevents discomfort, but also allows blood to flow freely to the places where it matters most during moments of closeness. For men, this often means stronger, more reliable erections, because a healthy kidney means steady blood pressure and better nitric oxide production, both essential for sexual function. For women, cranberries help reduce dryness and irritation, restoring comfort and confidence during intimacy and easing the hesitation that so many silently carry. But most importantly, it brings back a sense of relief and peace. Because I have met so many elders who have quietly suffered from burning urination, fading desire, or emotional distance in their relationship, and they never spoke about it. But once they added a bit of cranberry to their diet each day, things began to change. They felt as though a weight they had silently carried for years was gently lifted. I remember Geeta ji from Jaipur telling me my daughter-in-law brought me a small box of dried cranberries from a modern grocery shop. I didn't expect anything. But within just a few weeks, I felt as though something inside me had been cleaned, and even my feelings felt lighter. When the body is no longer fighting hidden discomfort or unspoken worries, connection comes back naturally and gently. And that connection is what makes life after 60 truly warm, deeply human, and beautifully meaningful. Even if you just add a small spoon of cranberries to your sabudana salad or take a sip of unsweetened juice in the morning, this fruit deserves a place in your kitchen, not just because it cares for your kidneys, but because it protects your circulation, your comfort, and your intimacy, things that no elder should have to give up. But if you think that's all there is, wait just a bit longer, because the next fruit we'll talk about doesn't just protect your health. It reignites your inner vitality like a sleeping fire that has always been inside you, waiting for the right moment to rise again. Let's discover it together. Papaya, the gentle awakener of vitality. There is something about a ripe papaya that feels like you are holding an entire peaceful morning in your hands, the kind you find in a village where the sunlight is gentle. The breeze carries the scent of earth and the distant call of a coal bird echoes from a neighbor's neem tree. Perhaps it is the soft orange color, or the way it melts on the tongue with a sweetness that brings back memories of childhood when Dadi used to slice papaya after lunch and feed it to us with a smile. But behind that tender sweetness lies a quiet strength, one that many people over 60 may never have imagined. Papaya is one of the most powerful fruits to awaken inner vitality softly but deeply. I still remember an old patient, Rajendra ji, a retired school principal from Pune. He came to see me, once his eyes tired from poor sleep, his voice low and sad. I don't feel strong anymore, beta. I eat well, I walk every morning, even do some yoga. But my body feels worn down. And my wife? She started feeling distant too. I didn't give him any medicine. Instead, we began with something humble, a small bowl of papaya every morning, topped with homemade dahi and a pinch of roasted jeera powder, just like the way Indian housewives have been preparing it for decades. A few weeks later, he returned. His eyes looked brighter and his cheeks had a gentle blush. I don't know how to explain it, doctor, but it feels like my body woke up again. And I knew. That is the quiet power of papaya. No drama, no rush, but just strong enough to restart a flow of energy that had long been forgotten. Papaya is rich in vitamins A, C, and E and contains papain, a natural enzyme that helps with digestion and fights inflammation. But what makes it truly special is its ability to support testosterone production in men, the very hormone that starts to decline silently after age 50, taking away bits of strength and drive with it. Papaya helps the body regulate hormones naturally. It keeps blood vessels flexible and boosts oxygen flow, which improves stamina and strength both in daily movement and in moments of physical intimacy. But papaya isn't just for men. For women too, it helps balance estrogen, increases blood flow to the pelvic area, and reduces dryness, making closeness feel more comfortable, more welcome. Even more, papaya supports the adrenal glands, the part of our body that manages stress hormones. So during moments of intimacy, the body feels lighter, more open, not burdened by fatigue or emotional heaviness. And what I love most about papaya is its simplicity. It's not a tablet. It's not some expensive imported supplement. It's just a soft, ripe fruit, scooped with a spoon, the same way our mothers and grandmothers in India have done since long before us. And with every spoonful, it quietly revives confidence, connection, and the longing to be close again in a way that feels truly Indian, truly human. If you are searching for a small spark, not just in your body, but in the way you look at your spouse, papaya might just be the quiet companion you need. It doesn't promise fireworks, but often it gives you something even more precious: steadiness, warmth, and a reconnection that lasts. And if you think fruits stop there, wait until I tell you about the final fruit, the one that supports your heart, balances your hormones, helps you sleep deeply, and love more fully. Cherries. The fruit that rekindles intimacy. There are some fruits that don't need words, just one look, and they bring a sense of softness. A bowl of deep red juicy cherries resting gently in your palm can make time slow down, like a lazy afternoon in Kolkata or a quiet breeze brushing through a veranda in Delhi. The way each cherry rolls softly on a ceramic plate, the way you savor one slowly, not in a rush, it brings back memories of moments that were simple, tender, and deeply meaningful. And then you realize this small fruit doesn't just soothe the tongue, it soothes the body and the heart. I remember many years ago, Dr. Pranav Deshmukh, met a couple from Nagpur, both in their 60s. They had been married for over 4 decades. Their love was steady, peaceful. But that day, the husband looked at me quietly and said, "I still love her, doctor. But lately, it feels like my body isn't mine anymore. It's tired, slow, and I miss the closeness we used to have." His wife just smiled softly. She wasn't upset, but her eyes held a familiar ache, the longing for a gentle touch, for quiet affection after dinner, for the warmth they once shared in their youth. They didn't want medicine. They didn't ask for hormone therapy or complicated treatments. They just asked, "Doctor, is there something more natural, something gentler?" and I suggested they try cherries. They didn't expect much, but after about 2 months when they returned, something had clearly shifted. They were glowing. Their hands were intertwined like a couple walking into the temple together during the new year. And I knew their bodies had begun to remember how to connect. That's because cherries contain anthocyanins, powerful natural antioxidants that reduce inflammation, cleanse blood vessels, and increase the production of nitric oxide. This allows blood to flow smoothly, not just to the heart or brain, but also to the pelvic region, where it quietly restores sensation and response. For men, this often means the natural return of strength without pills, without pressure. For women, it brings back that sense of warmth, comfort, and gentle excitement, the kind that once came so naturally in the early years of marriage. But what I cherish most about cherries is that they don't just support the body. They heal sleep. They calm the mind. Cherries are rich in natural melatonin, a compound that helps us sleep deeper more consistently. And as we all know, when sleep improves, hormone levels balance, mental stress fades, and the heart slowly opens again. Ready to embrace love once more? There's no sudden change, no loud transformation, just a quiet return, day by day, cherry by cherry, nurturing softness in the body, helping hormones flow in rhythm again, and gently guiding spouses back to that silent harmony where closeness no longer needs effort. It simply happens. I've seen many couples transform this way. Not because of any miracle, but because when the body feels safe, the door to connection opens naturally. And sometimes, just a simple bowl of cherries on your evening tea table is enough to remind you that the ability to love like you once did is still within you. How to begin? Starting today. Gently. If you're still here with me, reading these last few words quietly, then perhaps something inside you has already been gently stirred. Maybe lately you've been feeling a bit slower than usual. Your body doesn't respond the way it once did. Or maybe it's just that faint feeling of growing distant from yourself and even from the life partner who's walked beside you for decades. And everyone around keeps saying, this is just how old age is. But let me tell you, dear elder, that's not the whole truth. Your body is still listening. It's still quietly responding if only you offer it a little patience, a little tenderness. That's why I truly appreciate this approach we've explored together today. No extreme diets, no capsules worth thousands of rupees, no dramatic changes to your daily lifestyle. Just something as simple and real as fruit. Whole, honest, natural. Like the way Dadi used to juice amrud or slice papaya after breakfast when she was raising the family. And to begin, you don't need to do everything. Just choose one fruit from the 4 we spoke about. The one that feels familiar to you. The one that's easiest to include. Or maybe just the one that's already lying quietly in your kitchen today. It might be a few red grapes enjoyed with kakra in the afternoon, or a small handful of dried cranberries added to your warm morning porridge. Maybe a sweet piece of papaya after lunch, or simply a few cherries slowly savored with your evening cup of masala chai as the sun dips behind the rooftop. There's no right or wrong way. What matters is that you begin. Each time you choose one of these fruits, you're sending a signal to your own self, I choose to live. I choose to flow. I choose to reconnect. And within just a few weeks, you may start to notice quiet, subtle changes. Your hands might feel warmer in the morning. Your mind may feel lighter during your evening prayers. Your sleep may deepen after dinner, and perhaps a small warmth may return when you reach out to hold your spouse's hand, as if your heart is whispering, "I am still here." Over my 30 plus years in practice, I've witnessed some truly moving things. Like the gentleman in Jaipur over 70 who rediscovered closeness with his wife after a decade of silence. Or the graceful woman in Chennai who slowly learned to feel at home in her body again, not because she wanted to feel young, but because she wanted to love herself like an old friend she had forgotten. So tomorrow, if you're writing a grocery list or walking past the fruit cart near your temple, pause. Look again at the papaya, the grapes, the cranberries. They are not just food. They are a doorway back to yourself, a gentle gift of restoration. And perhaps today is the day you begin again. Not because someone told you to, but because you deserve it. You deserve to feel strong again. You deserve to feel close again. You deserve to live fully, not just with breath, but with failing. Because truly, there are seasons in life where we have quietly accepted less touch, less listening, less tenderness. Not because we wanted to, but because we believed. This is just how aging works. But today, if you're still here, still listening, please let me say this to you from the heart. You are not finished. You are not too late. And your body is still waiting for you to return. These 4 fruits, red grapes, papaya, cranberry and cherry, they're not magical cures, but they are soft reminders that just one gentle action each day can soften your blood, stir your hormones, and awaken your heart. So if tomorrow you do just one thing, even something very small, eat a bowl of cherries after lunch. Tuck a few red grapes in your kurta pocket before your temple walk. Then remember, you are choosing to live with meaning. You are choosing yourself. And this journey doesn't begin with a prescription. It begins with belief. A quiet belief that maybe, just maybe, the most beautiful days are still ahead. If this message touched you in some way, I humbly invite you to leave a small sign in the comments. Just type 1 so I know you're still here and you're beginning again. And if it didn't feel quite right, you're always welcome to type 0. I read every response. I keep learning. I promise to do better for you. Thank you for staying till the very end. And thank you for opening your heart and giving yourself another gentle chance.